Hi friends, Tracy.bish here, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. Thank you so much for pressing play. I'm super excited to be sharing with you my card for the Monochromatic hop, Instagram hop for this week. So we're using Starry Sky as our colour, and I'm using the Celebrate with Tags stamp set and die set. So you can find these in the annual catalogue. So I'm starting off with a piece of basic white thick cardstock. This is A4. I'm just going to score in half, cut in half, and that gives me my card base. I'm also using Starry Sky cardstock as well as another piece of the basic white thick. As I'm doing this, I'm sort of have a little bit of an idea in my head of what I'm going to create, but I'm not 100% sold in what I'm doing. So you'll see a little bit of toing and froing as I decide what I'm doing. So this technique of actually filming as I create the card is working out really well for me. Before I used to create the card first and then I'd do the video showing the card, which is a lot more work. So I'm really happy that I can do this, although the cards don't always turn out exactly how I want them, but as a card maker that happens. You know, we can have an idea in our head, but it doesn't always work. So I also have another piece of basic white thick cardstock, and this one measures 3 by 5 inches, and I've got a piece of Starry Sky that I've cut down to 3.5 by 5 1/4. So I sort of want to layer these, stagger these to the sides to create that, you know, fun effect. So the Celebrate with Tags, I'm going to do a birthday card because I really wanted to use this gorgeous balloon, and I love the sentiment in this stamp set as well. I'm going to grab out a few more stamps, and I grab out even more dies from this set. And honestly, I don't use them all, but that's okay. Like I said, I had an idea in my head, but it doesn't always work out. So this is a Instagram hop using Starry Sky as our theme. You can head over to my Instagram page at Stampin' Tracy Bish and take a look at everyone's creations, and I'd love it if you did that. I'm sure everyone else would love that as well. Leave them a comment if you love their card, and maybe, you know, follow them if you would like as well. So I'm using those little heart stamps in this set, and I'm just randomly stamping the Starry Sky on Starry Sky cardstock. So just a little bit of a background. So here I've grabbed, you know, quite a few dies out of this set. I really like this set. You know, there is 2 tags, there's candles, there's snowflakes, there's mittens, there's banners, hearts, so many great fun things, and I'm using this set for my onstage table gifts as well. So if you're new to what onstage is, I've got some videos coming out with some projects that I'm creating for onstage, and I'll talk a little bit about onstage there as well, so you can find out all that there. So I've got a scrap piece of basic white thick that I'm just going to stamp 3 of the balloons. I only end up using 2, so that's okay. We've got a spare one for another card later on. And now I've got my little cut and emboss machine. I'm just going to die cut those little balloons. I'm also going to die cut a couple of the candles. There's 2 designs of candles, so I'm going to I'm going to die cut both of those. They actually die cut 2 candles at a time, so which makes it super easy. And then in this die set there is a rectangle that's stitched all the way around. I'm going to die cut that out of the Starry Sky as well, and we're going to heat emboss our sentiment straight down on it. So I actually really love Starry Sky. I think it's a really pretty blue. It's one of our in colours that will be leaving us really soon at the end of April. So if you really like this colour, make sure that you get all the cardstock, the ink refill, which is super important, any DSP, any embellishments or ribbon that may come in this colour, because once it retires, that's it, it's gone. So once we have all our die cut pieces, I do muck around a little bit with this card because, you know, things didn't really work out exactly how I wanted them, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. So the Monochromatic hop each week focuses on a different colour, and if you've been following my hops, I've been able to do this for a few weeks now, and I'm really loving it. although I didn't think that I would enjoy the monochromatic theme each week, it's actually really good because I'm creating really quite simple cards just using the one colour, and I really like that. I know some of the Instagram hopping friends create some really elaborate cards, but I really like the simple cards, so I'm really happy with what's been happening. But yeah, if you're not on Instagram yet, please go over and have a look, because the ladies and men come up with some really great cards. So I thought with this sentiment that I've die cut, or the die cut rectangle shape, I thought it would look really good as a cake, which, you know, when you add the candles there, I think it really does look like a cake. So I was really happy with how that turned out. I've just ran my embossing buddy over the top of it, just to get rid of anything that it could attract the powders to, and I've stamped the sentiment with Versamark ink, and then I've used the white embossing powder to get a nice clear sentiment there. So I'm just going to heat it with the heat tool until it melts, becomes nice and shiny, and it's ready to go. I think we always need birthday cards, so it's really nice to be able to have a little bit of a stash of birthday cards. And what I really like about Starry Sky is it actually is a colour that could go well for both boys and girls. For me, my favourite colour is blue, so you know, I'd love a card like this. So this is our basic white. I thought it looked a little bit stark, so I've brought in my blending brushes. I'm just adding a little bit of colour to see what that would look like in the background. Again, even though I'm using the end of the handle, or further down in the handle, I still have a heavy hand, as you can see, but you know what? We're going to come back in and stamp over it with the Celebrate You stamp, and it actually softens it right down, so it really doesn't matter. So as you can see, like, I've done lots of stamping, but we're sort of covering up quite a bit and disguising it, so it's more of a background subtle stamp. So I'm just adding all my layers here, still trying to work out how I want everything to come. But then looking at the background, I think, yeah, no, it's there's just not enough going on in the background, but I don't want it to be too busy. So what we're going to do is we're going to stamp that Celebrate You stamp all the way in the background, but I'm going to use second generation stamping, which means I'm going to stamp off first before stamping down. So what's really great is when you're doing second or third generation, you've got multiple different colours really out of one ink pad. You know, you've got different tones in that colour, which is a great way of, you know, using less colours but getting lots of different designs. So I've done 3, like second and third generation there, to see which one I would like best. I really like the second generation because you can still see it, but it's not overpowering or too light either. So we've just sort of randomly stamped in the background, and I think this really sort of picks that card up a lot with that. So you've got sort of, you know, it sort of blends in so well. So I end up going with 2 balloons and then 3 candles. So if you look at it, you know, I probably should have had 3 balloons and 3 candles, but then that makes 6, which is an even number. I wanted to leave it as odd, so I've gone 3 candles, 2 balloons, give me 5, and we're all good. Now I'm just going to add a little bow here. Now this is the Starry Sky metallic ribbon. It's in the annual catalogue. Comes in all 5 of our ink colours. Really pretty ribbon because it's really quite small, but it's so super sparkly and beautiful. So it's a good ribbon to have on hand. So I'm going to start layering everything together. I'm going to use some liquid glue to attach the Starry Sky cardstock down. Then we're going to pop up the basic white piece that we have used our blending brushes with. We're going to pop that up with some rhinestones, with some dimensionals. And then we are also going to pop up the balloons, but we're going to adhere down the sentiment and the candles. And lastly, as we sort of pop these down, we're going to add our little ribbon with a mini glue dot, and then I'm going to do something really special, but I'll wait until we get up to it. So if you're in need of any of the supplies that I've used on today's card, you can certainly purchase them in my online store if you live in Australia. I've got some wonderful gifts for all my customers who purchase with me each month. You'll get a bundle tutorial from the Simple Sweet Stampers tutorial, 12 wonderful projects in all. This month in March, we are focusing on the Perennial Lavender Suite, so 12 beautiful projects using the Perennial Lavender Suite. You'll also receive this month's handmade card, which is a really beautiful card using the Everyday Details stamp set. So using that little teacup, which is really, really pretty. I really like that card. And you know, you can't go wrong with Bubble Bath and Pretty Peacock as your colours. Super pretty together. So anyone that purchases with me this month using the host code is going to receive those as their free gifts. If you're spending $65 in product before postage, I'll also pop in the monthly tutorial bundle. There are 50 tutorials in that, so full color photos, all the measurements, all the instructions. Some have video instructions with them as well. So lots and lots of inspiration for shopping with me, and I love to spoil my customers, so I hope that you'll shop with me. Alright, so here we're going to add just a mini glue dot to add our ribbon down. Then I'm going to bring in my Wink of Stella. Now this is a really pretty card, but I wanted a little bit of sparkle and shine as well, and we're going to add some little sparkle to both the tips of the candles and the balloons. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab my blending brush and smack the Wink of Stella over it, and that's going to add lots of little sparkle all the way over the card, so gives it lots of nice sparkle without adding any embellishments. So super cute. What do you think? I really hope that you've enjoyed today's card using Starry Sky in the monochromatic theme. If you've enjoyed today's video, I'd love it if you gave me a thumbs up, left me a comment, and maybe you could share this video with your friends and family. And yeah, if you haven't hit subscribe, I would love it if you did that as well. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you all really soon. Alright everyone, bye bye.